Right now, in this very moment, something is aware, something is listening. But that awareness, the thing looking through your eyes, is not separate from the universe. It is the universe. Everything you believe about yourself, your name, your story, your thoughts, is a mask. A carefully constructed identity placed over something vast and infinite. Since birth, you've been told that you are an individual, cut off from everything else. You were given a name, a history, a sense of self. But these are just ideas, constructs layered onto a deeper reality that has always been there, waiting for you to remember. Welcome to Beyond Reality, where we explore the hidden nature of existence and consciousness itself. If this resonates with you, subscribe now, because once you start seeing through the illusion, the journey only gets deeper. Throughout history, from Advaita Vedanta to modern quantum physics, one truth emerges again and again. Separation is an illusion. Alan Watts once said, "You are something the whole universe is doing, in the same way that a wave is something the whole ocean is doing." Yet for most of your life, you've been conditioned to believe otherwise, to see yourself as a fleeting self trapped inside a body, moving through a vast, indifferent cosmos. But the illusion is starting to crack. What you're about to discover will change the way you see everything. There are 5 signs, 5 undeniable glimpses into the true nature of reality. Each one lifts a layer of illusion, revealing something ancient, something hidden, something that was never meant to be fully understood. Are you ready? Because once you see the truth, there is no going back. Since the moment you were born, the world has told you a story of limits, borders, and definitions. You were given a name, a nationality, a set of beliefs. You were taught to see yourself as one small part of a larger system, a separate being moving through an external world. But none of this was ever true. The sense of being an individual is the result of conditioning, not reality. Your mind, shaped by language and culture, has drawn lines where none exist. The very word self implies a boundary, an edge where you end and something else begins. But look closely. Where is that boundary? Where do you truly begin, and where does the world end? Science and philosophy have long hinted at the illusion of separateness. In quantum physics, the observer effect shows that consciousness is not a passive witness to reality, but an active participant. In Advaita Vedanta, the ancient texts describe the self not as a distinct entity, but as the vast, formless awareness underlying all things. Zen Buddhism goes even further, teaching that the ego is nothing more than a collection of thoughts that come and go, like waves rising and falling in an endless ocean. The ocean does not see itself as separate from its waves. The waves do not exist apart from the ocean, and yet we are taught to believe that we are isolated, cut off from the vastness that gave rise to us. This is the first great illusion. The moment this illusion begins to break, something shifts. You start noticing that the boundaries you once took for granted are not as solid as they seemed. The sense of being a separate self starts to fade, replaced by something deeper, an awareness that was always there, hidden beneath the noise of identity. This is the first sign, the realization that the borders between self and world are constructs, not absolute truths. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The illusion of separateness is powerful, but once it begins to break, glimpses of a deeper truth emerge. These aren't abstract theories or distant philosophies. They are direct experiences unfolding in your own life. If you've noticed any of these 5 signs, something within you is already waking up. The illusion of separateness disappears. There are moments when the lines between you and the world dissolve. Maybe it happens in deep meditation, during an intense flow state, or while standing in nature, overwhelmed by a sense of vastness. In these moments, the idea of being an isolated self no longer makes sense. You are not observing reality, you are reality. Mystics describe this as ego dissolution, where the boundaries of identity fade, leaving only pure awareness. Modern neuroscience has studied these states and found that during deep meditation, the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for creating the sense of self, temporarily deactivates. The experience? Boundlessness, a direct recognition that you are not inside reality. You are reality itself. Sign 2, your thoughts and reality are interconnected. You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and suddenly they call. A specific idea comes to mind, and within hours, you see it everywhere. At first, these seem like coincidences, but as they keep happening, you start to wonder, is reality responding to you? Quantum mechanics suggests this might not be so far-fetched. The observer effect shows that consciousness plays a direct role in shaping the physical world. Could it be that your thoughts are not separate from reality, but entangled with it? Ancient teachings and modern research both point to this. The boundary between the mind and the world is thinner than you were led to believe. Sign 3. Synchronicities feel like messages. Carl Jung called them meaningful coincidences. Moments when reality seems to arrange itself in a way that is too precise to be random. A book falls off a shelf, opening to the exact page you needed to read. A stranger says something that answers a silent question you hadn't spoken aloud. The universe begins to feel like a dialogue, as if something greater is guiding your path. Indigenous traditions have always understood this. Shamans see synchronicities as signs from the unseen world, a language of reality itself. If you've started noticing these patterns, it means you're paying attention. And once you start paying attention, the messages become impossible to ignore. Sign 4. Consciousness exists beyond the brain. Near-death experiences, lucid dreams, deep meditative states, countless accounts suggest that awareness is not confined to the body. Some people report floating above themselves during surgery, witnessing events that were later verified. Children recall past lives with details that history confirms. Even mainstream science is beginning to question whether consciousness is truly generated by the brain or if the brain is simply receiving it, like an antenna tuning into a signal. Buddhist and Vedantic teachings have long held that consciousness is fundamental. It doesn't emerge from matter. Matter emerges within it. If this is true, then the thing you call you has never been inside a body. It has only ever been pure, formless awareness, temporarily experiencing life through a human lens. Sign 5. Time is an illusion, and you are eternal. If you strip away memory and expectation, what remains? Only this, the eternal present moment. Mystics, physicists, and philosophers alike have suggested that past, present, and future are not separate points, but one continuous now. Einstein himself said that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Somewhere deep inside, you've felt this. You've experienced moments where time seems to stretch, dissolve, or loop in ways that defy logic. Perhaps in dreams, déjà vu, or moments of extreme clarity, you've sensed that you are not moving through time. Time is moving through you. If you've experienced any of these signs, it's not random. Something is pulling at the edges of your awareness, revealing glimpses of a deeper truth. The question is, will you keep looking? Because once you see the cracks in the illusion, the final realization becomes inevitable, and that is what comes next. Everything you've ever identified with, your name, your past, your thoughts, has been a temporary role in a vast unfolding story. But the story was never who you truly were. The signs were always there, nudging you toward a deeper understanding. Now, the illusion is no longer holding itself together. The final realization is this: you were never separate to begin with. For so long, it seemed as though consciousness was locked inside a body, a fleeting mind contained in a fragile form. But look deeper. Can you find a boundary where you truly end and something else begins? The air that was once outside you becomes your breath. The food you eat becomes your body. The very atoms that make up your form were once part of distant stars. There is no point where you truly disconnect from the whole. Consciousness has never been inside anything. It is not confined to your brain, nor is it a product of physical processes. It is the fundamental fabric of existence itself, the space in which all thoughts, sensations, and experiences appear. You are not a separate self moving through the universe. You are the universe moving through the experience of being you. Mystics, physicists, and philosophers have all pointed to this truth. The Upanishads declare Tattvam Asi, you are that. The Buddhist teachings of non-duality say that the self is an illusion, a passing wave in the great ocean of awareness. Quantum physics suggests that consciousness is not a byproduct of matter, but an inseparable part of reality itself. And now, here you are, on the edge of a realization that was always waiting for you. The mind may resist it. It will try to hold on to the old identity, to grasp at the illusion of separateness. But something in you already knows. It has always known. So the question is not whether this truth is real. The question is, are you ready to see it? There is nothing left to seek, no final answer to chase. The truth is not something distant or hidden. It has always been here, closer than your own breath. The universe is not out there, separate from you. It is you. It has always been you, watching, experiencing, awakening. And now you stand at the edge of something infinite, not as a mere observer, but as the source itself. What comes next is yours to create. This is more than a video, it's a doorway, and you are not alone in stepping through it. Beyond reality is a growing community of minds waking up to the deepest truth of existence. If you feel it, if something in you is stirring, then you belong here. Subscribe, join us, and let's continue unraveling the mystery together.